It was a quiet morning on the AXI Discord when Commander Roland suddenly announced 4 incursions in general chat. The way he announced this was a little cryptic, but it was soon confirmed by several other commanders that Galnet had posted a Thargoid attack report on 4 systems. After 8 months of stand down, the AXI was mobilising. Squadron chatter was electric as all commanders flocked to AXI carriers, and carrier commanders like myself plotted a course for the systems in question, a small area of Imperial space within the bubble. Some of the AXI fleet were quite a ways out, requiring several jumps to reach the AO, but AX commanders had been chomping at the bit for a new conflict for months. There was no way they were going to pass up on the chance to hit with the first response. Throughout the AXI fleet, ships were outfitting and loading limpets on board, ready for the battle ahead. It wasn't long before the AXI fleet were jumping to the attacked systems. Upon arrival, we couldn't see any anti-Xeno conflict zones on the navigation panel, and so headed to investigate the damage to the stations. For many of us, this would be our first incursion and open conflict. Suffice to say, excitement was at a high. Comms and updates between commanders on the AXI Discord were in overdrive. The scene upon arriving at Garida Market was a mess. The station had significant damage with several areas on fire. The damage was accompanied by the telling sign of a Thargoid attack, the green residue. Upon submitting a docking request, I was warned about the state of the dock and danger of entry.
You've been permitted access, Commander. Ensure your shields are online prior to entry. Warning, Commander. Imperial authorities cannot accept liability for damage to your vessel approach.
The interior of the station was burning, emitting so much heat as to cook ships that dared to enter. The station population were in need of rescue, but I had no passenger capacity aboard my ship, the Nail and Gear, and so made space for actual rescue ships. The other stations reported to have been attacked were similarly crippled and bearing the residue of Thargoid weapons. Though at this time there were no sign of Thargoid vessels themselves, no AX conflict zones, no hyperdictions on ships jumping between the stricken systems. For now at least, we could take the alert level down and remain vigilant. But an hour after the first reporting of the Thargoid attack update, commanders began reporting in that Galnet had replaced the Thargoid report with a story of a terrorist attack on the damaged stations. This article made no mention of the previous Thargoid report, which was now missing completely. The situation caused quite a bit of confusion and disappointment within the AXI, though it did allow for some moments of humour too. But overall, the feeling of the AX community, after requesting the return of AX conflicts and reasonable access to tougher Thargoid fights in general, was this was a big letdown. An event that built up the hope and excitement only to go nowhere. The immediate speculation was that the Thargoid story was a mistake. Some remnant of an automated response system in Galnet that generated the report based on stations being damaged, and that the stations showing green Thargoid residue was just assets reused from Thargoid attacks. Then there was the Frontier Developments livestream that day.
Or you're probably aware that there's been some things going on in the Elite Dangerous universe. I'm sure we may have woke up this morning to find out that there were stations that had been simultaneously attacked, and there is some speculation about what's attacked them. I will tell you this: There is a reason things are the way they are. So why is there Goid damage on the station? I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is that damage is deliberate. So I will let that will be, I guess, will be explained maybe later on. Maybe there'll be stuff for players to sort out, work out. But I will tell you that all you see now is deliberate.
As is often the case on the topic of the Goid residue on the damaged stations, as is often the case when attacks or tragedies like this occur, there's a lot of confusion. The news is scrambling to get the information out there, but not everything is confirmed yet. So that was kind of simulated or represented in the news and the rumours that are still currently spreading while things are being figured out.
But yes, I will tell you this much: the damage that you see is intentional.
So the claim was that the events that played out were a deliberate decision and would unfold in future. All the while, questions about AX combat were being censored in the Twitch chat. It seemed like the term AX had been singled out and blacklisted. Why? If the events that occurred were in fact deliberate, you must surely have anticipated that the AX community would react quickly to the report on Galnet and then question the sudden change in explanation. As Commander Ventrify pointed out in a post on the Frontier forums, if the sudden change on Galnet articles was intended, why did the subsequent terrorism article make no mention of the earlier Thargoid report? If you were trying to write a coherent story, surely tying the two things together with something as simple as early reports of Thargoid attacks are in question would have made it immediately clear that the situation was fluid and changing. If you were writing this situation to be coherent, surely that's something you would do. However, if this was simply a mistake caused by an automated system within Galnet, then the evidence would kind of point to what we have now. So all evidence points to a mistake, much like the Gnosis incident, and an attempt to claim it as an intentional sequence of events. Lots of time and tritium were wasted over this situation. Where will the reintroduction of Galnet go from here? Well, we will have to wait and see. Hopefully, this intentional sequence of events will be revealed in more detail in the near future.